1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in.
Good evening. Welcome to another knee-jerk stream. I hope you have all massively enjoyed all the points that you've got this week from what has been an absolutely awful week. There is literally, apart from maybe Saka assist, been nothing good so far, for me at least, nothing good whatsoever. It is just misery, 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 and no points. And the only good thing for this game week is that I don't have to listen about Salah because he's not playing until tomorrow. Right now, that is the silver lining in my FPL life. What a rubbish week for a lot of people. Some of you probably played Amaron, played Shaw, have Mahrez, you're loving life. I'm on 30... Oh, hang on, I haven't changed the thing. I'm on 32 points. 32. Oh, I think I did change it, actually. Hang on. Yeah, there you go. 32 points. 32 points. Like, it's a joke. I knew Ake wasn't going to start. How many times did I say that this week? I don't think Ake's going to start against Villa. He's going to play against Arsenal. I don't think I can sell him. Oh, it's just so rubbish. It's just so rubbish. I don't even know what to say. Haaland triple captainers, that is just so harsh. I've been there so many times. Like, how are you supposed to account for that? Like, we knew that Mahrez was quite high up the list of penalty takers. Like, if Haaland wasn't on the pitch, you probably knew it was going to be Mahrez next. But to take a penalty while Haaland's on the pitch, like, you can't second guess that. You can't. You just can't account for that. It just sucks. You have 36 points, do I? I got 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8, 15, 16, 17, 23, 26, 28, plus 8. Oh, yeah. Why does live... Oh, I know why. Sorry. I took a 4-point hit. It's 36 minus 4. You're right. That 4-point hit, which so far not looking good because Martinelli is outscoring Odegaard because he came off early. Let me just update that a sec. There we go. I'm on a massive 36 points, but I took a 4-point hit, so I'm basing on 32. De Bruyne is doing my nutting. Honestly, sorry, I actually lied. There's 2 silver linings to my FPL life right now. One is Salah not playing till tomorrow, so we don't have to have a stream about asking me why I still own him, because who knows? Maybe he'll get a shot on target tomorrow. He might not score, but he might get a shot on target. Maybe he gets 3-pointer, I don't know. But the second thing is that De Bruyne is just as bad. He is just as bad. De Bruyne is now, I checked earlier because I've been checking the great, I don't know if I can swear. I might swear on Twitter, but not here. Basically, him and De Bruyne and Salah have both been so bad for 12 plus million. De Bruyne is now 2 points behind Salah since game week 17. So he's getting closer, and they've both got one more game this game week. So who knows who will be on top by the time we get to Wednesday when De Bruyne will play. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And I don't swear that much, but yeah, it's not that bad what I was going to say, but it's YouTube, you know. Got to protect that. Got to protect that ad revenue. I subbed Ake for sure for -4 and left March on the bench. Ouch. I saw someone sold Tony, March, and who else is it? Someone else that scored yesterday. Tony and March and someone else. Can't remember who it was. For a -4. I still got Salah, best asset in the game. Yep. Why did Pep bench Haaland? He didn't. He apparently got a thigh injury, so we'll see. I think he's probably felt something, and because it's Arsenal and they're 3-0 up, they're not taking a risk because it's Arsenal on Wednesday. Absolute joke. Honestly, if I triple captain Haaland this week, I'd have to laugh about it. Yeah, Mahrez, great pick. That's the thing, right? I said this on Twitter. I can't really bemoan Mahrez getting points. Like, owners should be delighted, right? He's been a great pick, super cheap. Lots of us still avoiding him because we're worried that Champions League's going to come back and he might not get as many minutes. But it's obviously a stupid move. I should have got rid of Ake as originally planned and got Mahrez in for Fernandes. It just didn't happen. I loved that Mahrez miss at the end, though, to be honest, because I felt like bit lucky getting the penalty. And so, therefore, happy that he missed at the end. Felt like it kind of evened it out a little bit. Almiron, yeah. I said, what was I going to say? Yeah, for some people it made sense to keep Almiron this week because it was Bournemouth, right? I remember saying about Luke Shaw, some people sold him for a hit, some people benched him, some people played him. I think Luke Shaw was a little bit fortunate in some ways because I think Leeds can feel a bit aggrieved that they didn't score in that game. They definitely deserved the goal. I'm not saying they definitely deserved to win. I don't think they were that much better, but they definitely deserved to score. Newcastle starting to concede goals now. Should we be concerned? Oh, it's music to my ears, this. All I'm saying is Trippier's got Liverpool, blank, Man City next 3 games. It's not next 3 games. It's not great. It's not great. I'm going to play him this week, though. Own Almiron for 5 weeks. Yeah, but it's just one of those... So this is what... This Almiron situation is very similar to my Salah situation, but I appreciate nobody wants to hear about that. They just want to tell me how bad Salah is. But you can say that it was a mistake to keep Almiron all those weeks where he blanked. But once you got to game week 23... and he had Bournemouth away, it was perfectly reasonable to keep him for 1 more week. You can't go back in time and change what you've already done. All those mistakes that you made by not selling him at the perfect time, who cares, right? This week was a different question. Now, some of you would have done Almiron to Saka, Almiron to Odegaard. Perfectly good move. But for some people, it made sense to keep him. And that's kind of what I've been trying to say about other players that we won't mention by name. Oh, look at this guy. Grown-ass man puts food on table by crying about a player who entertains other grown-ass men. The Matrix is real. People who go on about the Matrix are just weird people, aren't they? Especially ones watching a stream that they're complaining about. Like, there can't be that much going on in their life. Anyway, there you go. Great message. Matrix, great film. Not the last one, though. Not great. Trippier out for Kilman. Not sure about that. I mean, I don't think there's any point worrying about whether Haaland's going to start on Wednesday right now because he either is or isn't. You can't change it, right? You can't change it right now. I mean, if the Matrix is real and I get to make a living crying about whatever he said, I've got rid of the message now. That's great. Isn't that great? Where are we at with De Bruyne? Easy switch to Salah. I mean, I think yes. He's got a double game week, so that's what I would do. I would go to Salah. Now, the question is, do you go to Salah this week? On paper, it doesn't make sense, right? Because one, we haven't seen Salah play yet, and he may well just blank, and he might look awful. And Newcastle away is definitely tougher than Nottingham Forest away. But will De Bruyne miss minutes because of the Champions League? Maybe. For what it's worth, I think I would keep De Bruyne for Forest, and I would do the swap to Salah in game week 25. But I think a lot of people might... I think if Salah scores tomorrow, people will consider doing it for game week 24. Why would anyone make the effort to switch on YouTube, come to the stream, then complain? I know, people are so weird. I always kind of find it funny, because I feel like they've got so little going on in their life, they have to join a stream that other people enjoy just to moan about it. It just makes no sense. Like, you think they'd have better things to do, but apparently not. The Matrix made me bench Estupinian. I mean, at least they conceded, right? At least they conceded. I love Estupinian though. If I get a free transfer to get a Brighton defender for the double, he will be the one I pick ahead of like Dunk or someone like that. Yeah, Mings. Mings. He wasn't in the squad. Apparently he was injured, but he should be fine. He should be fine. Hopefully he'll be back by game week 25. Not Matoma. I'm glad. Look, this is the thing, right? So picture this, okay? Picture this, right? I've had an awful few FPL weeks, as a lot of people have reminded me for weeks, right? So it's Saturday evening, okay? Double Newcastle defence has blanked, and I've only got Trippier. Happy days. Kane, massively owned. Going up against Salah for me, he's blanked. Mitoma, getting really highly owned, he's blanked as well. And what was the other good thing that happened on Saturday? Kepa blanked as well, right? Kepa blanked. So I'm thinking, here we go. Can I finally get some points back? Just some. I'm not expecting to have my rank or anything like that. Just give me 100k green arrow or something like that. Because I've still got Edison to come, who's got a double. I've still got Ake to come, who's got a double. I've got Fernandez, who's been sold, and he's got Leeds away. That's a good fixture. And I've got Mitrovic against Nottingham Forest. Well, Mitrovic at that point had already blanked, right? So all my differentials have done really bad again. So everyone else's highly owned players finally blank. They finally all blank in 1 week. And then none of my players do anything. It was a nightmare. Saturday evening, there was hope. Sunday evening, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. I like João Felix, but I've thought about it quite a lot. If I was buying João Felix before game week 20... if I was buying a forward before game week 25, I'd probably buy him. But if I'm buying one after, I'm just going to buy Tony, aren't I? Because Tony's got Fulham at home in 26 and a double in 27. The only thing to consider is João Felix has a fixture in 28 when Tony doesn't. So ultimately, from 26 to 28, they have the same number of fixtures, but you're still going to take the double, aren't you? So I like João Felix, but I guess for most people, they just don't need to use a transfer on him. Like I said, I talked about him in the... I'm not trying to claim him or anything like that. I talked about him on the watch list this week or last week, and I do think he's going to get quite regular minutes in that Chelsea side. I think going forward, we'll start to see a little bit more of a core side under Potter. Not saying he'll have the same 11 every week, but I think 6 to 8 players are going to be the same most weeks. Enzo Fernandez, João Felix, perfect examples of that. Yeah, obviously we still don't know what's going on with Tony's charges, so that's worth knowing. And he's also 2 yellow cards away from being suspended for 2 games as well. So if he's only 1 yellow away from 2 game suspension going into game week 26, that makes it a lot trickier. A lot trickier. Graham Potter's not going to get sacked soon, I don't think. He spent so much money. Badia Sheila next week, Southampton as a long-term hold. Yeah, possibly. I like him, 5 million. Not in the Champions League squad. KNEEJERK, keep up the great coverage. I always wonder, you're being sarcastic, because I've been so bad recently. So bad. I dread to think how many people I told to, or not told to, but said that I would bench Shaw over Reece James, Estepina and players like that. 8-point hit, Haaland triple captain, and Almiron, Tony and Andreas on the bench. Oh my days, that's even worse than mine. I mean, mine's bad, right? But at least I've got a bad bench where I'm not also benching points as well. That sucks. It's just one of those really bad weeks for some people. Other people, loving it. I think... Oh, by the way, I did kind of find it a little bit funny about Mitrovic, because just before the deadline stream end, we were talking about Navas, and someone was saying that I was disrespecting Nottingham Forest because they've got Navas. And I think in the end, Mitrovic had quite a few shots in that game. And presumably, I've not watched the full game, but presumably Navas probably saved some of them. But he had, I'm looking now, on FB Ref, he had 0.8 XG against Nottingham Forest. 0.8, that's so good. That's so good. I mean, if you did that every game, you'd be laughing. So again, I feel a little bit unfortunate with Mitrovic. I do feel a little bit unfortunate. I think it's Mitrovic not getting points. Edison not holding on to that clean sheet. What if Diaz has stayed on the pitch? Would he have made the same? Would he have played the same as Akanji? Are we blaming Akanji for that goal? Why did Shaw only get 1 point in the Leeds first game, although he played 90 minutes? Conceded twice. So he lost 1 point for that. Haaland doesn't score and passes to Gundogan and then doesn't take the penalty. Yeah, but in another world, Haaland's got a 12-13 pointer today, and Mahrez is coming away with 1 assist. That's life, you know. That is FPL. It sucks sometimes. What's going on with Spurs? Well, one, they got absolutely smashed with Leicester, which I was delighted about, because Kane blanked. But also, on a more serious note, Bentancur, probably pronounced that wrong. He's apparently out for 6 to 7 months. That is a massive loss for Spurs. And I don't think it suddenly makes them a massive avoid. People who've got Kane should not be massively worried. But I don't think it's going to help Spurs overall at all. I think that's a huge, huge loss. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I think if you've got Kane, you're probably just keeping until he blanks. They're making a decision. Iheanacho, I love Iheanacho. I think he's so cheap. And every time he plays, he just gets points. He just gets returns all the time. And I think, to be honest, like if you look at the fixture, Maddison as well, I just don't see where we buy him because look, they're playing really well. And for 6.1 million, he could definitely get enough points to warrant the price. But they've got to play Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea in the next 4. And in game week 28, they'll probably blank as well. So the only good thing is that they play in 25, then they've got Southampton. But obviously Southampton have now sacked Nathan Jones, so maybe they'll improve a little bit as well. So I just think it's possibly the wrong time to be buying Leicester players. Possibly. But I think towards the end of the season, then we're definitely going to be looking at it, especially if Iheanacho can stay in the team. But we've been here before. Iheanacho gets in the team, and then for some reason, Brendan Rodgers just takes him out, even though he's always seems to be doing really well. I just don't get it. Maybe now is the time, but I don't know. I just as frustrating as Mitrovic has been, and trust me, he has been so frustrating. I just don't see the point in getting rid of him before game week 25. He's got Brighton away, Wolves at home. He plays in the blank. I'm just going to keep him, then decide what to do afterwards. And so I don't really have the moves or money to get green with him. It's not about fixtures, it's about form. Yeah, everyone says that, but it's not. I mean, look at Haaland. He's blanked 3 times since the World Cup, all against the kind of sides that I've just spoken about. So like, it's always about fixtures. Whether or not you should keep Tony really depends on how you're going to deal with game week 25. It might be the case. I think one thing to think about if you're someone with like Mitoma, Brighton defender, Tony, double Newcastle defence, Man United players, it might actually be worth it for some people to not have 11 players in game week 25 and just already be set up with the players for the double later on. But I think for most people, you're probably going to be able to get to 11. Any talk on Martinelli to Odegaard? Didn't feel you covered it much on the deadline. Martinelli to Odegaard was kind of interesting in the end because I think Martinelli owners were probably happy because he got to 60 minutes. Because I was watching the game and Trossard started warming up about the 50... I think it was just before the 58th minute. Not warming up, sorry. He was putting the shirt on kind of in the stands, I guess, right? Where they're all sitting to watch the game. Like, he was putting his shirt on, getting a few instructions. And the ball just stayed in place, so they didn't make the sub until after. So I think Martinelli owners in the end were probably quite happy he got to just past 60. But I also think anyone that swapped to Odegaard must be pretty happy that it looks quite likely, unless Arsenal are blowing teams away, there is going to be that change earlier than maybe we first... Like, when I first thought about Trossard coming in, I was thinking, okay, well, Martinelli is quite often getting to 85, 90 minutes a game. Maybe now it'll be 75, 80. But now it's looking like in a lot of games, it could be 65 to 75. And I think long-term, Odegaard will probably do better. But if you haven't done the move, you're probably not going to make it this week, are you? You're just going to probably let it ride out another week. So we'll see going forward whether it works out. Like, I know it's called the bench, but, like, I guess... Yeah, I get it. I know it's like bench, but when I picture a bench, I'm thinking like Sunday League when you're like, sat on like a proper bench in the dugout. This wasn't really in the dugout. Essentially, it was up in the stands. But yeah, I am just mincing my words a bit. Like I feel like some stadiums have an actual dugout you all sit in, and then some just have you up slightly in the stands. And that's not really a dugout, is it? You can't call that a dugout because it's literally not. But bench works, I guess. We all know what that means. You should shave your beard and keep the mustache. It will change your luck. I don't think I'm willing to try that. But thanks for the advice. Tom, crazy week. My bench is De Gea, Ream, De Gea clean sheet, Ream clean sheet, Andreas assist, Castagna assist and lost. 30 points. Oh my God. Look, you just have to know that you made the right decision not bench boosting. Come on. Sheevan, just give up for once. Your stubbornness on keeping Salah is going to cost you. Just have a day off. Just honestly take a day off. Chill out. Relax a little bit. Stop worrying that I've got a player in my team that you don't want me to have. Just chill out. Go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. He's not even played yet this week. Who knows? Tomorrow he might keep a clean sheet and get 3 points. Why? I think you should captain Salah next week. I mean, maybe in game week 25. Maybe. What are you thinking about the Haaland injury? Didn't look good. Just wait and see what Pep says. Wait and see what happens on Arsenal. And then go from there. Hoping Gakpo scored in game week 25. Yeah, there's a chance that I might buy Gakpo, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I think my move might be to roll in game week 24. Actually, no, I'm going to have to use 2 transfers. I've got a feeling I'm going to buy Trent. I want to pre-warn people who keep getting triggered about the fact that I've got Salah. Be prepared to be triggered about Trent, because I think there's a very good chance that I buy him now. And the reason for that is Ake is probably not going to start both Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. I kind of want rid of him. So I think when I downgrade Fernandes in game week 25, I'm probably going to have the money to go Ake to Trent, and I'm probably going to do that. But we'll see. As it stands on paper, I've got 10 players for game week 25, but one of them is Ake. So I'll probably sell Fernandes. I don't know. I could sell Fernandes and upgrade Greenwood and just bench Ake. Or play him and then have someone else come on if he doesn't, come off the subs bench. But he probably will, like we saw today, have like a 1-point cameo. So... yeah, we'll see. But in game week 25, there is. I just want to pre-warn you all now. There is a chance that I'm going to buy Trent or Darwin or Gakpo or 2 of those 3. I subbed Botman on for sure the last minute as Newcastle versus Bournemouth looked set for a double clean sheet. Yeah, frustrating. I probably would have done the same. I don't know. Like I said on Deadline Stream that I would probably go for Botman over Shaw. Then when something like that happens, you just think to yourself, well, was it stupid benching Shaw in the first place? We know he can be attacking, but he played left centre back for like 60 minutes of the game. You're selling Trippier for Trent. Oof, nice. Would I be taking more hits for game week 25? That's not my current plan. I don't think I need to. But what I will say is if I want to buy... I've already worked this out. If I want to buy Darwin... So if I want to do Fernandes to Matoma... So keep that player blanking, which I can do. And that would fund Greenwood to Darwin, right? Now, I can do that move right now. So that means I would have 11 double game week players. And I would bench Matoma, Trippier and Rashford. That would be my 3 on the bench. Outfield, right? But one of those 11 would be Ake. But I have 0 in the bank to do that. So if there's any price rise, if Darwin goes up or Matoma goes up again, which I would say is probably quite likely, I can't afford it. So I might take a hit to downgrade Edison, but I don't know if I'm going to go to Kepa. I might go to Pickford, which I know people will love. But I might go to Pickford just because he's got the double. The only thing with that is I know it will frustrate me long term when Kepa just keeps racking up points. So I probably will just go to Kepa if I need to make a change. But I need Edison. I need to get rid of him, just for my own sake. Just for my own sake. There is still time to turn this around. I love that you still have Salah. I hope it pays off. I hope it pays off too. I hope it pays off as well. You remember that exchange on Twitter about Salah versus Madison and double game week? Are you sure about Trent? I mean, that exchange was just a load of rubbish. That was someone that was someone coming up with a random scenario to prove something, and me just doing the same thing. Right? It's just rubbish. But yeah, hopefully things turn around. I've got a massive red arrow so far this week. Like the way things are going, it's possible for me to be outside the top 1 million. But who knows, right? I don't want to panic too much. I mean, I never panic too much, but I probably should have done recently. I don't want to panic too much because I've still got Salah to come, right? If he could, I feel like I've said that. I have literally said this for like 6 weeks. If he could just get me a goal, that's all I want. I don't even want the clean sheet. 1 goal, 7 points. Then that would nullify a little bit of the red arrow. And then I've got 6 players in the Arsenal City game because I think Ake will start. Edison will probably get me a 0 or 1 pointer. Haaland doesn't really matter because everyone's captain him anyway. And then obviously me 3 Arsenal boys. So there's still there's still time to not have a red arrow this week, but it's very unlikely. Very unlikely. You're so happy Mahrez took the penalty. If Haaland had been massively triple captain this week, like if he was 250, 260% effective ownership, I would have probably been happy about Mahrez taking it as well. But as it stands, I wasn't. Fellow Edison owner here, absolute pain every week. Honestly, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Again, I'm happy to say Kepa to Edison for a hit was a massive mistake, right? It breaks... Oh, excuse me. I need to clear my throat a sec. It breaks all my rules about not wanting expensive goalkeepers, about, not looking gift horses in the mouth. Kepa being so cheap, playing for a top side. He was only 4.5 million when I bought him. So it was a bad move. I admit that. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. But I still think the point swing is harsh, and that is a little bit unlucky. I don't think Edison's got... I think he's got one clean sheet. And in that week, I think Kepa got a 9-pointer. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. I haven't actually seen the numbers from today's game in terms of... Info goal is not showing XG anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if they've lost it or there's like a bug or something. I'd like to see what Villa's expected goals were. In fact, XG Philosophy has probably posted about it, haven't they? Let's have a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they had loads of... Yeah. So the XG for the game today. And look, I get it. You can't assess everything off one game's worth of XG. I completely get that. But 3.91 to Man City and 0.52 for Villa. It's Edison, man. You're just killing me every time. Every single time. And it was a mistake as well. It was another mistake. I think that's even more frustrating in some ways. It's not like they're always being outplayed. They're just making a mistake. They got tackled on the near enough the halfway line, and then Watkins was just in between the two centre backs. So much space. So much space. So I think they conceded 0.8 XG to Wolves, kept a clean sheet. They conceded 0.8 XG to Spurs, conceded 2 goals. The first goal was a mistake by Edison. Man United, they were just really bad, so that's fair enough. What was the other game? What was the other game I had him for? Can't remember now. I don't know. Maybe I haven't had him any more than that. Anyway, it's been bad. It's been really bad. Am I watching the Superb Owl? Nah, you got to stay up late. I like to get me sleep, Got to make a video in the morning, go to the gym. It's just on for so long. It's just on for so long. It's not Edison who's bad, it's the defence. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's been chopped and changed so much. It'd be interesting to see if going forward how much Laporte and Diaz play now, because I think they probably are their best 2 centre-backs. What's your go-to soft drink? Pepsi Max by myself. Coke Zero. Ollie Watkins, he plays in 25 and 28. Yeah, don't mind him at all. Don't mind him at all. And now he's got his bad fixture out of the way. I think the fixtures after this are pretty good. Oh no, they've got Arsenal, haven't they? Sorry. Yeah. It's Everton away in 25. Palace at home. West Ham away. Bournemouth at home in 28. They've got Forest in 30. I think the fixture in Gameweek 32 is definitely on as well, right? Brentford are out of the FA Cup. So this game would definitely be on. So the only thing with Watkins, right, because he has done really well. So I get why people are looking at him. He's done well since Emery come in. I just know in FPL he's so frustrating. By the way, this is my team for next week. This is what's massively frustrating me at the moment is, like, look at that team. There's nothing massively wrong with it. Nothing massively wrong with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trippier having to play against Liverpool, not great, but it's Trippier, right? So we're not worried about that. Having to play Tarkowski is probably not great. Like, obviously, if I kept Luke Shaw, I would have played him. But it is what it is. I'm only playing him because Ake's annoying. Yes, Salah, not great, but as long as he matches Kane, that's all I need him to do. And hopefully he'll match Kane this week. He might even outscore him. Who knows? The rest of it's like absolutely fine. And yet, this is a team that's just killing me every single week. Every single week. But I don't need to make any changes this week, I don't think. I'm probably just going to roll. That's my plan as it stands. Would you start Andreas over Mitrovic these days? Probably not. Yeah, look. Like, I didn't say this is the perfect FPL team right now. I'm just saying it's fine. There's nothing massively wrong with it. People don't rate Salah, but pretty sure he'll be in their teams for next season's draft. Honestly, Salah does like one thing. People will start talking about him again. Like, he's not the end of the world. Again, like, what are the two players that everyone keeps at, like, go to Harry Kane? Well, Harry Kane's just blanked. Go to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is just blanked again. Go to Almiron. Well, he scored one goal in, like, whatever. Go to Mitoma. He's just blanked. Like, who cares? Sorry for soft topic. Is YouTube your full-time job? It is, yep. Am I making a Champions League video? Nah, I'm kind of done with that, I think. Yeah, March, yeah. But again, we're saying March because he just scored. He's just blanked twice in a row before that. If Arsenal are going on a downward spiral, might be a good time to get rid. Nah. Nope. They got another double game week coming up. They got a game in 28. We ain't getting rid of Arsenal. You just hold them now. You just hold them. They're too valuable to get rid of. Like what you've got coming up is a blank game week for 4 teams in 25, a double game week for 4 teams in 25. You got blanks coming up in 28. You got doubles coming up in 27. There are far too many transfers going on and are going to be needed to warrant getting rid of Arsenal players unless they're injured. Then that could be different. Who is a viable Man City defender? Don't get one. Don't do it. Just do not buy a Man City defender. It's not worth it. Surely rolling the transfer is the move for 24. For a lot of people, but maybe not everyone. For some people, it might be worth doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had the money, Mitrovic to João Felix this week might tempt me a little bit. Southampton at home, game in 25 and 28 guaranteed. Could be worth it. Will Kukureya keep starting with Chilwell there? I mean, Chilwell's obviously been out injured for quite a while. I know he's back now, but in general, he hasn't played a huge amount of football, so that could be why Kukureya keeps starting. I think it's worth saying that then Newcastle, Chelsea aren't conceding many goals, so maybe Potter doesn't really want to change it from that perspective. And obviously, Kukureya is part of that. But then maybe they would be better off with Chilwell going forward. So who knows? I think if you've got Kukureya, you might give him another week or two. But I don't think I'll be buying him right now, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's similar to last week, right? Even if I wanted to, like, I've got, hang on, let me see how much. I think I've got 0.1. Yeah, I got 0.1 million in the bank. What move would I even do this week? Like Edison to Kepa, but I mean it's not on a Forest away, so I think I can just keep. I think I can just. Oh Christ! Press the wrong button there. Let me just see. I think I can. I think I can just hold him. I don't think there's a good move for Mitrovic this week, and he's got Wolves at home next week, so I'll probably keep him anyway. So I don't really see a good move for my team this week that improves it for long term as well. By the way, I don't know if it's official yet, but I saw one report saying that Thiago might be out for a month for Liverpool. So that certainly does not help Liverpool players. So I would not be surprised if Salah comes out tomorrow with another blank, and I just have to hold on for the double. Gabriel to White for more funds. The funny thing was, again, I watched that Arsenal game because it was on TV in Ireland, and Ben White was pretty good, to be honest. And I think he was top bonus before they conceded. So it was quite funny. Need that Gabriel goal from a corner. What I'd love in the Arsenal City game is goals, right? But not from Mahrez or De Bruyne. I want a goal from Ake. I want a goal from Gabriel. And then I want Odegaard and Saka to be scoring. Is it just me, or has this been a non-enjoyable season both in terms of the football and FPL? I think the football's been pretty good. I mean, FPL, are you doing badly? Because a lot of the times, people's rank will determine how much they're enjoying FPL. What about Forster? He's 3.9. He is, but did you see Spurs at the weekend? Do you plan on keeping Salah for the whole season? No, I don't really have any plans for Salah. Keep him for the double and then decide. Maybe sell him afterwards if there's a good move. I got to be honest, I don't see Salah going until he blanks in 28, for what it's worth. Because I just don't think there's going to be a better player to buy for him. Right? City are going to blank in 28 as well. So, yeah, for all of those that hate I've got Salah in my side, he's going to probably be there till game week 27. And then if he plays in 28, he'll definitely stay for that as well. Haaland's had a negative impact on FPL. No fun choosing your captain. For what it's worth, though, I feel like it's always like this. Like, usually it's not Haaland, it's Salah. Like last season, it was like Captain Salah every single week. And there was only a few weeks where you change on that. And Salah's kind of been bossing captaincy for the last 4 seasons. So I don't think Haaland's really changed much. And, you know, it's a bit, we won't use today as an example because it wasn't really, with the penalty in the halftime sub, etc. But, yeah, there's always a player that's a standout captain. There's always a player that's a standout captain. Southampton new manager bounce? Possibly. They could just be bad. In the past, you had Aguero, Kane, Salah, Hazard. Yeah, sure, but you could captain some of those players this season as well. Like, I guess Haaland scoring 25 goals so quickly is maybe a little bit different. But I don't think it's massively different. There's like 3 players over 100 effective ownership every week. Is that different to normal, though? Not sure it is, really. Should I get Ake and Bruno out and Mahrez in? I don't know if there's a rush to get Mahrez, but it could be an option. Wait until after Wednesday anyway to see. Is Haaland essential for captain now when Rashford's smashing it? I mean, Haaland's probably the best captain this week, but I mean, there's an argument that Rashford could do just as well, but I'll definitely be going Haaland. Although I will say I need to change my... I probably would put Rashford vice captain this week instead of Saka. I can't remember what you asked them, to be honest. Yeah, João Felix did look good, yeah. Realistic aim for the top of the rest of the season? Yeah, top 100k probably. What a load of rubbish. What about Reece and Chilwell? Good run for Chelsea. I like Reece James, but Champions League starting back up could play on his minutes a bit. And Chilwell, I just don't think you can go for. He's not getting enough minutes. If Haaland was injured, who would you sell him for? Harry Kane, probably. Straight swap. Oh, I don't think there'd be too much thinking about that. It would just make the most sense, wouldn't it? Chances are Haaland will not be out long enough where we need to worry about it, though. But it could get interesting if he's out for like a couple of weeks. Like let's say Pep said he was going to miss. Let's say he was going to miss Forest and Bournemouth. Well, then you've got Newcastle, Palace, and a blank in game week 28. You'd probably sell him for Harry Kane and just risk it. Because in game week 27, it's a double game week anyway, so I would happily captain Matoma or Tony over Haaland. Game week 26 is Newcastle at home. Spurs have got Wolves away. Arsenal got Bournemouth at home, so you could go for Saka. So yeah, if he was out for 2 weeks, it could get interesting. But it cost 0.4 for me to get him back. Unless he goes down in price. If he was actually injured and enough people saw him, he would probably drop in price a little bit. Yeah, if he's out for 2 weeks, that would be interesting. If he's out for a week, you'd probably just bench him, right? And just captain someone else. I'm guessing Haaland came off because it was 3-0, basically job done on Arsenal on Wednesday. I think, I suspect so, but there was reports that he was injured, but it could have just been a slight knock and they didn't want to risk it, right? It might not be like a major injury. He does blank in 28, but you would just take that risk until 27, wouldn't you? And then change someone else, right? I mean, I don't know. It's very hard to know the exact strategy for 27, 28, 29 just yet because we need to wait until game week 26. I think it's a waste having Ederson in fantasy. Close to no chance of bonus points since he hardly makes saves, and when he actually has to make one, he just lets the opposition score. Do you know what? I completely agree with you. I hate having Ederson in my team. But like I said last week with Ake, I felt kind of stuck with him. I feel a little bit stuck with Ederson this week. He just never really feels like a move worth making. But in game week 25, that might change. My only issue is, right, if I've got to change Ederson to Kepa because I need the money, I'd almost rather do it this week. Because if I have to do it in 25, it means I'm selling Ederson before Bournemouth away and I'm bringing Kepa in for Spurs. That just doesn't feel right. So I'd probably end up wanting to keep Kepa or just, keep Ederson or not wanting to go to Kepa. So I would just pick Pickford because he's got a double game week. And then I'd just be stuck with Pickford instead. So, yeah. I agree with you. Ederson's rubbish. I'm not trying to play him up whatsoever. Loz, how's it going? 40 minus 4. You smashed me. I'm on 36 minus 4. Amber on bench. Ouch. You probably asked me about him as well, didn't you? I know Pep, etc. Mahrez is looking like a number 1 pick. Thoughts on De Bruyne out for Mahrez? It just feels like a move you just never want to make. But Mahrez looks great, yeah. If Mahrez can keep getting good minutes throughout when the Champions League is on, then yeah, he's a brilliant pick. He's just a brilliant pick anyway. Maybe he won't miss enough minutes around the Champions League, and for less than 8 million, should just keep him in. I mean, I got to be honest, I did knee-jerk a little bit today, and I was thinking, if there's no midfielder that I want, maybe I just do Fernandes to Mahrez in 25, and just admit that I should have done that earlier. Like, can I afford Fernandes? I don't think I can afford it, actually. I don't know if I would do this, but let's just look. Fernandes to Mahrez. That gives me 2.1 million. 7.1 to spend. And Trent is 7.3. But I could go for Robertson instead. Could do that. Fernandes to Mahrez. Ake to Robertson. Maybe that's the play. Who knows? Then I'd want Matoma in that spot. It just gets a bit complicated. There's generally no need for a premium midfielder. Yeah. Who would you play on right instead of Mahrez? Yeah, it's only really Bernardo Silva. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I did. No, I don't want to say that actually. No, I do. I like Mahrez. Like, it's hard to kind of think of any reasons why he's not a good pick right now. Isn't it weird that Trent and Robertson sound like crazy bad picks all of a sudden when last year we wanted to double up? Always happens though. There's always players like that. Look at Son. When was Son last mentioned in a question about FPL on this channel? He just doesn't get talked about. And last year, he was essential at times. We were captaining him. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just gone. He's nothing to us now from FPL point of view. Tony and Felix for Greenwood and Haaland, also nice. Yeah. No, wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that could work. I think I'd probably just go to Kane, though, if I'm honest. Because for me, I think Fernandes is the cash cow, not Haaland. But yeah, that could work. MHMD, thank you. Paul, if Ben Crennan's predictions are accurate, Game Week 28 is a nightmare. You said Game Week 32 is even harder to navigate. Can you explain? 32 would only be harder to navigate. Well, hang on. It would all depend on how the double Game Week fixtures fall. And so Game Week 32 could have, like... Put it this way, right? The Game Week 28 and 32 blanks are based on FA Cup fixtures. So these are the fixtures in Game Week 32. Now, Arsenal are out of the FA Cup, but if Southampton were to get through the next 2 rounds, which might not happen, but they could do, that game would be off. So you'd lose Arsenal. Brighton and Man City, right? One of those 2 teams is probably going to get far enough so that game is a blank. So you'd lose your Man City players and your Arsenal players, and obviously Matoma, etc. Man United have got Chelsea, so all of those people with Kepa, looking at João Felix, etc. Kukurea, Reece James, Badiashile. Man United, another team that could definitely get through the next 2 rounds, so that game would be off as well. Spurs are also still in the FA Cup, so if they were to get through too, and obviously this isn't just into the next round, it's to the round after that, so it would get a bit more difficult, and obviously some of these teams will come up against each other, so they can't both go through, but it's possible is what I'm saying. So if Spurs went through as well, you'd lose your Newcastle players, so you're losing Harry Kane and Trippier, so you could possibly lose in Trippier, Kane, João Felix, Kepa, you know, Rashford, Shaw, all your Matt Haaland, etc., Mitoma, all your Arsenal players, like that could be pretty hard to navigate. But who knows? It might be a case that in game week 26, when we see the FA Cup results, and I think we'll see the next draw then, they might face each other, and it might then get to the point where, well, we know one of these two fixtures is going to be on, therefore it's not so bad. Southampton might get knocked out, and then Arsenal versus Southampton is on. So it's not that it definitely is more complicated. It might just be more complicated. But it might also be the way the FA Cup results happen and the way the other fixtures get put in, that it's actually easier to navigate without using your free hit in 32. It's very difficult to tell you right now which is the right way to go. Like a lot of people, because of the doubles in 27, are now possibly looking at wildcard game week 27, free hit 28, and then obviously in 29 you'd have your bench boost. That might be possible, but it's going to depend on a lot of things. Why Haaland didn't take the penalty? We don't know. It might have been because he was carrying a knock. We just don't know. Pep just said big knock for Haaland will need to be assessed. Doesn't know if he'll be okay for Arsenal. He was always going to say that last bit though, wasn't he? I really wouldn't free hit game week 25. I think it's going to be way more useful for you in 28 or 32 or maybe even 29. Salah is not the option for captaincy. I got to be honest, I haven't really said he is. I did mention game week 25, but that would just maybe be a bit of a punt. Because right now, I was saying yesterday on Twitter, the game week 25 deadline now I'm talking about, so not the next one, the one after, is on a Friday. So it's 12 days away. And I'm going to go into that deadline stream with Saka captain, but I reckon I might come out of the deadline stream with Salah captain, because why not? What was someone saying to me on Twitter the other day? He's at an all-time low in terms of expectations from the general FPL player base. He's never going to be that low for captaincy in a double game week again. I might just take the punt for the hell of it. But if he plays as badly, or he and Liverpool play as badly as they have been against Everton and Newcastle, I'll probably just go for Saka. So I'll see. If the result was more tight, then maybe I don't do it. I don't think he's injured, but tomorrow we'll see. Hopefully he can be in for Wednesday. If it is a risk or not, or he is not ready, he's not going to play. Yeah, so that kind of tells me Haaland's going to play against Arsenal. I mean, he's not going to give Arteta any heads up, right? It's in between Real Madrid, though, so he won't be too energetic. Is it right? Is it? Hang on. Oh, if it is, then I'm definitely going Saka. Probably. Okay, yeah, so it's Newcastle game, then it's Real Madrid, then it's the double, then it's Man United. Yeah, but it's a Tuesday Champions League. It's Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, so it'll probably be fine. We'll see. I'm not worrying massively about the game week 25 captaincy right now. George, thank you very much. Do we start looking at Leicester attackers? We spoke about them briefly earlier. I don't think so because of the fixtures. Time for Patterson to be a double game week hero. I don't want Bueno and Patterson to bail people out now. Would I start March or Badis Sheila next week? March, I think, against Fulham at home. I mean, Salah's definitely going to play, isn't he? Like, his minutes are great, no matter what happens in Real Madrid, unless he gets injured. How do I feel about Darwin? Okay-ish, but I want to see what happens when Jota's back. Is Salah triple captain in game week 25 the ultimate differential? I mean, it probably is right now. I don't know if I would do that, though. €8 for the double. I would probably just go for a Wolves centre-back if you're going to buy a Wolves player, a Wolves defender, to be honest with you. Kilman's only 4.3. Dawson's got that goal threat, though, for 4.8. Then again, Kilman could also score from a corner. You never know. Pep Guardiola completed his 250th Premier League game today with a win percentage of 73.6%, highest in the league's history. Nice. Thoughts on free hit for triple Liverpool for the double? I wouldn't free hit game week 25. I think it'd be more useful afterwards. But if you were going to free hit in game week 25, I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know why you wouldn't go for triple Liverpool. Sad middle-aged man obsessed with FPL. Get a real job. Ben, my man, this job is great. Like you wouldn't believe. I'm my own boss. Sat here on a Sunday, earning me money. You're in a stream you don't like because you have nothing else to do. Who's in a better position right now? Why isn't my name on the screen of members? It should be, but I can double check that. It might not have been updated since you signed up to be a member. How long have you been a member for? I've got to manually update it. The free hit and wildcard chips are so valuable to get right. Tell me about it. And I'm worried I'm just going to get them. I'm going to get them completely wrong. As a self-employed man myself, I can confirm it's awesome being my own boss. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not always great. It's not always great. Most of the time, it's great. And you've got nice people like Ben who are watching. They're taking time out of their day on a Sunday evening, where they seem to hate FPL, but they just want to watch me. They're just supporting me. And Ben, I just want to say I really appreciate it. So thanks very much. Ben supported me on a Sunday night. Good man, good man. Still haven't used my triple captain. What's the best game week? I feel like my answer to triple captain is just always use it in the next double game week. Ben is a legend. Ben is a great person. Ben is a great person. Thanks for watching, Ben. Thanks for pushing up the viewer numbers. Much appreciated. Ben must have benched, sure. Ben's too cool to be playing FPL. He's not a middle-aged man of SEO. He's too cool. He's too cool. He just watches FPL streams on Sunday nights. So he just hates it. I don't know. Someone asked a question that I feel like I was going to answer. Or I was starting to answer, and I've just completely lost it now. If Liverpool keep a clean sheet against Everton and Newcastle, how essential would Trent, Robertson, Van Dijk? They won't be essential. They could be a good option. Gonna switch over to Ben's stream. Who the F is Ben? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. He's upset about Ben Tanker. That's nice. That's nice. I like it. Did you look at the Solvers transfer plan for your team on FPL section? I think you tweeted me, didn't you? Did I not reply? I think I saw it, yeah. I'd already considered that. You mentioned it on the last stream, and I said about it. That I'd already looked at selling Fernandes instead. Anyway, I know my plan for next week's roll. And then it's going to be sell Fernandes for Matoma, probably. Can you give my best friend Jake a shout? It's his birthday today. He loves your stuff. Jake, happy birthday. How much are you making money being an FPL YouTuber expert since you mentioned it? About $1 million a month. About $1 million a month, right? Give or take a few 100,000. Bench Ben. Oliver says you're having a shocking season. Cheers, Oliver. I hadn't realised that, but now you've pointed it out. That is something to take into account. I'm having a bad season. People get really personal on the stream chat. I know they do. Yeah. Madison Yonso for Andreas Simitrovic for game week 25. Maybe, but probably not. I think. Do you like to ruin your weekend? Do you like to ruin your weekend like me and constantly check your FPL rank on Live FPL? I do sometimes check, but it probably is better not to do that. You got to host Ben in a live stream. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. Ben just likes to watch a stream about a game he doesn't obsess about. He doesn't obsess. He just tunes in on YouTube. I hear Ben is close to a price drop tonight. Poor Ben. Things can only get better. That's what Take That said. Was it Take That? It was Take That, wasn't it? Remember when Andy streamed FPL on his wedding day? Yeah, people say I'm obsessed. And people try and say I'm obsessed. All I did was stream FPL on my wedding day. Oh. Can you... Okay, this is from M Fahy. Can you give my mate Ben... I don't know why I find it so funny. Can you give my mate Ben a shout out? He's having a disastrous FPL week and he's cheering up. Ben, I hope things get better for you. But didn't take that cover it. Things can only get better. Now take that, did it? Come on. D-Ream. Come on. Who the hell's D-Ream? You're all showing your age now. Was it not take that? Did not take that, not do that? Things can only get better. Things. Was that D-Ream? Nah, it was take that, right? Oh, it was D-Ream. Have I got the wrong group? Hang on. 1994, D-Ream. That's kind of my... Hang on, I've got to listen to this now. Pretty sure Ben sang that song. I'm sure Take That did that. Things can only get... Surely this is a Take That song. Take That sang this. They must have covered it, no? How am I just realising this now? Did Take That not cover this? Wow. I don't know why I always thought I was Take That. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Take Ben. Alright, on that note, wow, the things you learn on an FPL stream. I wonder how many people have turned off because I started talking about Take That. Yeah, sorry. And do you know what the worst thing is about ending the stream talking about D-Ream? I have to go. I've got to go. So that's how we're going to end the stream. Thanks for watching. There will be FPL chat on the other FPL videos this week. Make sure... I know I can't concentrate now. I realise that's not Take That. Make sure to give the stream a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to go and listen to D-Ream. If you're just joining, to summarise, FPL sucks and D-Ream release Things Can Only Get Better. There you go. We'll say goodnight to Ben. Ben, if you're still watching, have a great Sunday. And I will catch you all tomorrow for the watch list video, and we'll do it all again next week. Should be your intro music. I would if they wouldn't copyright strike me. Anyway, that's some good FPL chat. I'll see you soon.